So far this summer transfer window, there has been a few murmurs and rumblings about the potential of Jamie Walker signing for Carlisle United, and I never really thought too much into it. But over the last 24 hours, something like that, there has been an article and an interview come out basically confirming that there was interest by Carlisle from Jamie Walker. And we're going to talk about the whole situation, some of the comments that he's made, which are a little bit interesting and don't make for particularly great reading. Jamie Walker's career at Bradford City and what life could potentially look like at Bradford City without Jamie Walker. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes on today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts on as well down in the comment section down below on the potential of Jamie Walker leaving Bradford City this summer. Obviously his contract was set to expire a couple days ago technically, before we triggered his option after he turned down new fresh terms with the football club. And then yesterday there was an article from I think the Simon Parker equivalent of Carlisle United, and it's an interview that Jamie Walker has done with somebody, and he's basically confirmed Carlisle wanted him, and it doesn't make for particularly great reading. He doesn't sound too happy to be at Bradford City, which is very contrasting to the interview he did with the club on their official YouTube channel, basically having a game, I think it was snooker or pool, one of the two, I don't really know the difference in all honesty, and he's talking about how much he loves it here, his family's settled. So these two interviews that he's done seem very contrasting, so we're going to speak about it in today's video. Make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. So we're going to start out today's video by taking it right back to the start of May, just after the season started, where there was an account which came about on the hashtag called Insider Chicken, and it was basically talking about Jamie Walker. And because obviously nothing got officially confirmed, it didn't actually go to Carlisle, a lot of people kind of wrote this account off as just one that's making stuff up. But recently there has been a lot of things that have come out from this account which actually then did come to light a couple days later, so it's very interesting. I do think it is something that we should consider. Again, this could all just be rumours and murmurs, but judging by the fact that they've got a few things right after that, I do think it is something that we should be discussing in today's video. I like to be pretty certain and sure on transfer information that I bring you, and I feel like this is at the moment what I believe to be a reliable piece of information. So they tweeted on the 8th of May saying, being told something that many won't like, Jamie Walker has rejected our contract offer, which was a 1-year extension with the option of another year to be triggered if he reaches 25 league games with reduced terms. Carlisle have offered a 2-year deal with better terms. Continued, the contract offer from City included a significant salary drop whilst also reducing his bonuses, as his current contract has the highest bonus figures in the whole squad. Carlisle said to be appealing to him due to being a little bit close to home. I'm also fairly certain that game time will come into the equation, with Bobby Poynton obviously set to get a much improved offer, Alex Patterson coming back into the fray, and transfer targets in similar positions. Obviously we have recruited Anthony Sarcevic since then, and there is more to come on that. His 25 game extension clause isn't a guarantee to be hit, and again, when this came out, a lot of people kind of just dismissed it, probably made up a load of nonsense. But yesterday there was an interview that's come out, and it's from John Coleman, who's done an article on it. I don't think I'll be able to actually put it on screen because there's so many adverts on this website, you won't actually be able to read any of it. But the article does then read that Carlisle United wanted me, claims Bradford City star. Bradford City attacker Jamie Walker has claimed that Carlisle United showed interest in him earlier this summer. The Scot says United, backed by their wealthy American owners, were keen on his services, but Walker instead extended his stay at Valley Parade after the Bantams exercised an option in his contract. Walker, 31, mentioned Carlisle's supposed interest in an interview with Football Scotland. He said, I think Carlisle were interested, they've got new owners, so I think they're giving it a bit of a go. There were clubs in League One too, but my agent never really said who. It never really got that far because as soon as Bradford, extended my option, I never had any leeway. It doesn't, like I mentioned a few times now, it doesn't make particularly great reading. It sounds like he was actually kind of gutted that the club decided to extend his contract by a further season, which is absolutely baffling. United have since bolstered their attack with the return of Charlie White. There's been so many different pieces of information that have come out from loads of different parties, whether it was from Charlie White's side, from the club side, from Carlisle's side, loads of different things have come out, but it sounds like the the most concrete thing is Charlie White was desperate to come back to Bradford City, but we simply just didn't offer him a contract this summer. We tried to sign him in January. This summer, though, we weren't interested, and apparently he's gone to Carlisle on 6-7 grand a week, something like that, is the rumoured fee, which will probably make him the most expensive paid player in the division, and I don't really think he warrants that, in all honesty, especially considering his record and obviously health issues since he has left Sunderland, where I think he got over 30 goals in League One. But Charlie White, who is back for a second spell at Brunton Park, and a player who has also played for Bradford City. Walker has in the past scored against the Blues, including in 2023's playoff semi-final first leg, and on the final day of the 2021-22 campaign. He said he was happy to remain with the Bantams. The former Heartsman added, "I actually finished the season well, so I had a bit of interest. I think the club got a bit of wind of it, so they took that option up in my contract. I'm quite happy. It's a good club." Carlisle will face Bradford at Valley Parade on September 7th in the new 4th tier season, with the return game at Brunton Park on January 18th. Walker is the latest Bradford player to be linked with the Cumbrians in recent times. United signed the Bantams goalkeeper Harry Lewis in January. The Blues were also interested in forward Jake Young last season, but Paul Simpson said United were not prepared to meet Bradford's ridiculous asking price. Again, considering the money they've got and some of the fees they've been spending, I don't think a couple hundred grand was ridiculous for Jake Young in January, in all honesty. But I think it's good to end the final quote that you actually get from him saying, "I'm quite happy, it's a good club." He's not totally happy, but he's quite happy, so I guess we'll have to take it. But the fact that he was saying things like there were clubs in League One who were interested, but his agent never told him, and it never really got that far, because as soon as Bradford extended his option, I never had any leeway. Now, it's hard to tell with a written piece of information how he's actually expressed that. It's much better if you can watch it and actually see his expressions and the tone of voice and all that sort of stuff that he has used, because it can be interpreted in many different ways. But I just think it's crazy that he would come out and do an interview like this, in all honesty. I'm not too sure what Jamie Walker gains out of that, and I think that is why it is a little bit strange. Simon Parker also did an article this morning. It basically says the same thing, in all honesty, and rightfully so. The Bradford City fans are not happy by it. If we have a look at a few of the comments that have been said by Bradford City fans, someone here says, "Get shut, never fit, clearly doesn't want to be here. If we were getting at 10 to 15 goals and double figures in assist out of him, then let him sulk around the place, but he's not worth carrying with his bottom lip hanging out all year. Decent player on occasions, but no thanks." Someone else says, "Poor comments." Another one says, "Piss poor that." Someone else says, "Did he get injured doing the interview?" And I just think all of these comments are very justified, in all honesty. Someone else says, "This isn't a great read. He's actively saying he wanted to look at his options, but we have scuppered that, one of the two. Instead, he'll have to wait until next summer. Also don't like the fact he's bigging up a League 2 rival in this way. No comment that we're giving it a go. He clearly wanted out." And the final one that we'll read says, "So the club had not exercised their year option, he'd have took the offer at Carlisle and got 2 years of being injured for half a season from them, and it's any wonder the club get criticised." Actually, there's a couple more which basically just say, "Not great, few comments really, wasn't expecting this from him, sounds over the moon to still be here." It's not like I've just interpreted it in a certain way. There's a good 20-30 comments of people just on Simon Parker's reply saying the same thing, and there was a fair few as well on John Coleman's article. And you look at Jamie Walker's time at Bradford City, obviously again he did suffer that leg fracture last season, and he did actually only manage the 27 league starts for Bradford City last campaign. He did though score 8 goals and chip in with 5 assists, which if he's fit for a full season, you're probably looking at 12 to 14 goals and then around 8 to 10 assists, which would obviously be a really good return. But Jamie Walker, in his 2.5 years so far at Bradford City, hasn't been fit for a full season. You look at the 22-23 campaign, just the 21 league starts for him as well, 4 goals and 1 assist in that season. And obviously he spent the second half of the 21-22 campaign with the Bantams, where again he just managed the 15 starts, 4 goals and 1 assist as well in that campaign. And I do think that obviously Jamie Walker, if he is still here by the time the season starts, I do think he will still give 110% for the football club. I do think he is going to be very committed, but like I say, one, I don't understand what he gains out of this, and two, I just think it's a very, very stupid thing to be bigging up a club like Carlisle as well, where over the last couple of seasons obviously been, I don't want to say a rivalry, but there's a bit of friction between the two clubs and all that sort of stuff. But before we end today's video, I just want to have a look at our options in the position that Jamie Walker does play in, and we'll have a bit of discussion as to how much game time time all of them could potentially get next season. If we have a look specifically at the number 8, number 10 sort of position, so not including players like Richie Smallwood or Kevin McDonald, we've obviously got 7 options in there at this moment in time. There's rumours that we're interested in signing another player for this position as well, so there might actually be some legs in Walker still going to Carlisle. It would obviously require a transfer fee, but I think the club would get absolutely ridiculed if they were to allow Walker to sign up for Carlisle. They've been signing a lot of our former players for a number of years now, but now they're actually signing the decent ones rather than the stinkers. But yeah, like I say, if we have a look at this position then, starting out from where you would consider 7th, moving our way up to number 1, Gabe Wadsworth, obviously a young player, first full season as a professional, you would kind of expect him to go out on loan. He might get an opportunity in pre-season and it could hopefully be his breakthrough campaign like Bobby Poynton, but I don't see him really getting too much regular football this season. Above him, you probably say Clark Adore. In all honesty, I expect him to go out on loan unless he's going to play at left wing back, which I'm not really too sure about that. In all honesty, I don't think he's got the defensive capabilities. I think he's too weak, and I do think he switches off at times as well. I also think Adore's best position is when he's in the final third and he's able to take people on, but again, I don't see Adore playing all too much football in this position next campaign. Alex Gilliard is a bit of a tough one because he's so versatile. You don't really know how much game time he's going to get next season, but I think he'll feature in a lot of games. Not too sure how many starts he'll get though, in all honesty. I think he'll start the big games away from home, like a Chesterfield away and Notts County away, but I can't see him starting at home to Bromley, for example. Then after that, you probably have Bobby Poynton. He's probably our 4th choice coming into this season just based on reputation and all that sort of stuff. And I know Poynton ended the season absolutely brilliantly, but I'm looking through Graham Alexander's eyes, and we've got to remember Poynton didn't really get much of a chance. In fact, he was frozen out of the squad. I don't want to say frozen out of the squad, but he wasn't included in the squad for a large period under Graham Alexander until the season was basically done. Then it was kind of on Bobby Poynton to try and save our season, and he nearly did in the end. He scored a couple of key goals as well towards the back end of that campaign, but again, with some of the other players on the current books, I can't see him being a regular starter at the moment, in all honesty, which would be a little bit of a shame, to be honest with you. Then you probably have Alex Patterson, just for the fact that he did spend the majority of last season injured, and I really do hope that he can remain injury free this campaign, but I guess we'll find out over pre-season and all that sort of stuff how good of a job the physio team have done on them hamstrings. But again, based on ability, I certainly think he's better than the ones that we have already previously mentioned. Then you probably have Jamie Walker, just because again of his injury record. He's a very good player, probably based on ability and talent one of the best in the squad, but he is going to miss between 10 and 25 games a season through injury, which is so frustrating and disappointing, but it's going to happen every single campaign. And the best for me in this position at the moment is Anthony Sarcevic. He's been brilliant in this division for a number of years, whether that be with Stockport, Bolton or Plymouth Argyle as well. I do think he's going to be our main starting player in that position, and I think that's justified with him being given the number 10 shirt as well, in all honesty. So if Walker is to be removed from that, then I do think we do look a little bit weaker in them positions. Do I think Jamie Walker will move on? No, I don't think Carlisle will pay a fee for a 31-year-old, but we know they've got the money, we know they've got the finances, so it wouldn't surprise me in all honesty, but I think the club would be very daft to let Walker go to Carlisle. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below on Jamie Walker's comments, what life would potentially look like without Jamie Walker and all that sort of stuff. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.